Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta. The festive season is here and India's jewelers are hoping that the holiday cheer will reignite the demand. A lackluster year that saw exports from the US and China decline has seen the sector banking on the domestic demand to turn the things around. However, the World Gold Council's estimate that domestic demand could drop 10% to a three-year lows in 2023 could actually prove to be a dampener. So what are the jewelers as an industry expecting from the festivities? To get all of those questions answered, joining me now for that is Dileep Narayanan. He's head of bullion and treasury at Malabar Group. I'm also joined by Baby George. He's CEO at the Joyalukkas Group, and Colin Shah is managing director at Jewellery. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us, and happy festivities to you all. And there is so much hope as of now hinged on to the last quarter of this year in expectation that the festive and the wedding demand would actually pick up, and we would see all of that coming in numbers. So my first question to all of you really is on where demand stands right now and how are you looking at the rest of 2023? Colin, let me begin with you. What's your sense right now? Because I do understand that China and US aren't really the strongest of markets right now, but I also do understand that Asia seems to be doing well. Middle East seems to be picking up right now. But what's your sense on overall numbers right now from domestic markets and export as a sector?
Thanks, Manisha. So overall, our exports have been down between 25 and 30%. If you look at year to date, it's quite alarming. The level of exports will be maybe back to where we used to be pre-pandemic, and doubled with not only a lack of volume demand, but even pricing is under pressure on all our various commodities. The only bright spot in I guess our entire basket of gems and jewelry is gemstones, where we've seen a nice rise in the last few months. Domestic, we've had this. So if you look at the stock market and if you see every parameter around us, it's booming. And companies seem to be doing well. Results are very good. We are entering an election year in various large states, and then of course we'll have the national election. But the demand for some reason on gems and jewelry, we've had a few weeks which are very strong, and then we have a week which is not so strong, and then again we have a few weeks which are good. So it's been a little roller coaster kind of thing. Having said that, most of the jewelers are very optimistic that the season will be strong because the number of weddings are still at a very decent level. So we are optimistic about the season ahead, but the year so far has been a little roller coaster in terms of demand.
Oh, well, absolutely. And this is, what the sector really has seen. Dileep, what's your sense? I mean, as Colin also mentioned, there's uncertainty. The direction isn't really very strong as of now. And the other asset classes have done quite well. So whether it's about, real estate, we've seen housing sales at a very high level. The equity market seems to be doing quite well. The high-end cars are doing well. So are those exotic vacations, etc. How is that impacted overall jewelry as a sector?
Yeah, I agree to Mr. Shah, as he rightly mentioned. It's been, the market has been very volatile. It's been like, I would say the demand has been very volatile. There are a few months where you see high demands and there are a few months where it's pretty low. But having said that, I think now around the season now coming up, now festive season's up to Diwali, and from there on up to Christmas, there are a lot of events and festivities which is lined up. I think we should see some good business coming up. And as far as the gold price is concerned, it's been very volatile because we have even rupee, not supporting us that great. I mean, for the last few days, the rupee has been very volatile. So that's one of the reasons why India always gets hit, because we have, double whammy because of gold and the rupee being affected. So, but having said that, during the festive seasons, we do see very good demand. We are stocking up our retail stocks for the Diwali and then upcoming festives.
Mr. George, what's your initial comment as well? When gold is spoken about, we see physical demand as the most important one here. So there are two aspects to that as well, gold coin one and jewelry the other. And we do understand that jewelry always tends to do better than other physical ways of buying gold. How are you looking at South India? Always, of course, is a charmer there when it comes to gold buying, the numbers that is. But what's your sense on the markets right now?
Yeah, as far as Joyalukkas is concerned, we are purely into retail of ornaments in India only. We don't have any exports as such. If you look at the first quarter, as far as our company is concerned, we have grown by around 33% during the first quarter. So every festival season was very special for us because we give special festival offers during this particular season. We are planning to have special festival offers and festival sales. From our past experience, we used to have sales of at least 8 to 10 times more than the normal average sales. So this festival season also we expect the same type of revenues across the country. So we are looking forward to the festival season for which we have made elaborate arrangements and we have planned for what type of offer we have to give it to our customers, and we have already made arrangements for preparing additional exclusive diamond ornaments and new designs of ornaments. And we are expecting a good sales for the festival season as it was done earlier.
All right, that's nice to hear that a cheer onto the panel there. Mr. George, also, I mean, as you said, 8 to 10 times of an increase is what you usually see during the festival season. What do you think has changed as a buying pattern over the years? I mean, is it about designs? Is it about gemstones, diamonds, lab-growns? Is it about putting in a strong face, a celeb, a brand ambassador there, or is it the schemes that works?
See, over the years, the change, what we have observed is the demand for lightweight items and lightweight items have increased, and small pendants and diamond ornament demands has gone up. Otherwise, our major sales are coming from the wedding purchases. Around 35 to 40% of our sales are from the wedding purchases, especially in the South Indian market. We have a good market share for the wedding purchase.
Mr. George, also when you look at the buying prices, that seem to have surged quite a bit. I mean, if I look at the prices last Ganesh Chaturthi, we were at around 52,000. We're trading at 59,000 plus kind of levels right now. So the kind of jump that we've seen on a year-on-year basis, does that deter, or do you think that's a positive because people do think on what they've earned really on the past purchases?
The purchases, what we observe is the volume has slightly come down, but the maybe on account of the price rise, the volume which used to sell has slightly come down. But having said that, doesn't mean that there is a major, as far as we are concerned, last year we have grown in volumes by around 28% on a revenue growth of around 41%. So there is a slight dip in the volume, but there is still good demand for the items. That is what we have observed.
Well, absolutely. Dileep, you know, when we talk about gold, we keep talking about on how the jewelry buying is the highest. Bridal clearly takes the cake away. And then it is about diversification as well of your asset class within gold. Which one of these do you think seems to be working for the sector?
When you talk about the sale, as Mr. George was mentioning, it has definitely affected our due to the price volatility. Sale has definitely affected, but when you look at the turnover part, turnover, the price has been always moving up, and hence that the balance sheet numbers have always moved up. Coming to your coming back to terms of demand, what you have asked, the demand in festive seasons have been always up by around 10 to 15%. Okay, and that is what we foresee here at this point of time also. And there are slack seasons which do come in between. Like for the last 2 months, we had slack season where there was not much of demand, but then all of a sudden, then we saw that last month there was a huge demand which has come back again into the market.
I just want to stick on to the pricing part of it, and this one is for you, Colin. Even as the dollar index is trading at a 6-month highs, and we've seen every other market increase as well, and we do know that the smart money seems to be going into equities right now. Even with all of that happening, $1,900 per ounce seems to be holding in case of gold. I mean, obviously, going forward, there's a big debate on whether it's going to 1,800 or 2,000 on the higher side. What's your sense, one, on prices? Do you think with the kind of central bank buying and the buying that we see picking up from Asia and Middle East could be supportive for gold?
With everything we're seeing globally, our own personal outlook is that we'll see gold more north of $2,000 in a 6 to 12 month period. For the simple reason, there is inflation. It's a reality. Oil is at $90. US also will enter elections, interest rates are high. So if everything we are seeing macroeconomically continue, then gold actually is low at 1900. And we are actually wondering why it still stayed in that 1900 level. So in a 6 to 12 month period, we do see this only going up.
All right, so the gold prices are going to be supportive, and that's perhaps going to be one of the reasons for people to keep buying there as well. But gentlemen, stay on with us. It's time for a very short break. When we come back, we'll of course talk about on what age group is buying, what are people buying, and what are the latest trends. We'll understand all of that from our experts.